why they led you on so much, but it really wasn't them leading you on. It was for a time. We had something. Now that's over with.
And I'm supposed to accept you when you come back.
I ain't say you got to, but it's damn sure you missing out on life if you keep on sitting there being like, well, you know, if a person come back to me this way, I don't want it. Well, we know good and well. Most
It's
human
not how you
beings,
come
can I
back, it's
finish
how
my
you
sentence?
left.
Let me finish my sentence. Most human beings, and I'm gonna address that how you left shit because that's even easy to address too.
You
But
looking
most human
past
beings
the whole
say
situation.
what?
You looking past the whole situation.
No, I'm not.
You acting like two people that's just kicking it and then they separate and then 10 years later they come back together. Yeah, that's cool. We're
No,
not
I'm
talking
not.
about
I'm
that.
not even
We're
saying
talking
that.
about two people in a whole relationship and then one of them, boy or girl, decides to up and leave them for another person and then 2 or 3 years later they leave that person and try to come back to you like, oh, I'm sorry that I left you. That was wrong. I knew I should have been here with you. No, you can't do that to people. That's wrong.
Again, I'm not saying nothing against what you just said. In your head, if you feel like that's wrong, that's wrong. But we always talking about how things end. Let me address that first so I can get back to what I was saying. But things end, that ain't always like, you can't dictate shit based on how the shit ended. Like, nigga, when something always ended good? When? In what situations do the variable always come out when this end is going to be good? It's ending because it's not good.
You know, people do be together for forever. A lot of people be
I
together.
didn't say they didn't. And
Right.
I feel like a lot of people
So
that
the
do be
thing
together
is,
forever.
it wouldn't end. You wouldn't have left me. We wouldn't be having to come back. But you did. So I don't have to take you back.
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying in
But you
general,
said you
as a
disagree.
rule of thumb, that's not smart. As a rule of thumb, that's not fucking smart.
What's
Because
not smart?
I wouldn't make a generalization on any fucking situation. And to me, that's a broad ass generalization. Okay, if this person did this and did this, then don't take them back. When the majority of human beings do that. So it's like, are you going to have a relationship? And if you be honest with yourself, you don't deserve a relationship. Because humans do that shit. Make a decision, go back on it. Come back, realize the error in their ways. So you would take the motherfucker. Hold on. You would take the person who didn't know what they was doing versus the person who realized the error in their ways. To me, you asking for the heartbreak at that point. Because here it is, your heart can be mended, but you're ready to keep it broken because you did X, Y, Z to begin with. And just like you're growing, you would think somebody else was growing too. But if you're not growing, I wouldn't think somebody else was growing. Like if I was a thief, at one point in time, whenever that point in time was, I would automatically know, put my guard up because people could steal. And this way. But if I never was a thief, never heard of nobody stealing, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to have my guard up on that type of shit. So it's variables in play that as much as we want to sit here and point the finger at somebody else for our dismay, that really I'm like, stop pointing out. Stop pointing out. Point in. Why do you keep on attracting people that do the same shit you do?
That's what I'm saying. We not talking about different people.
If you do the same shit, you can't say nothing.
Tries to come back to you.
I'm saying if you're doing the same shit, you can't say nothing. Just because you like not the type of person to break up with people, don't mean you're not doing something in a certain manner, doing the same shit.
That's them?
Yes. So as much as like, okay, say for instance, I ain't the type of person to break up with people, but I stop putting energy into certain shit. I only heard the little bit. We don't gotta go back. We having a conversation.
But it's what she said.
Again, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying clearly, I'm making an example. Well, I go back to that. If I'm making an example of, hey, if you're not the type of person to break up with people, what do people that don't break up with people usually do to end the relationship?
What do people that don't usually break up with people
do to end the relationship?
I don't know.
They start putting energy into it. They intentionally start fights with a person about shit that, not to say every time, this is what happens, but a lot of times this is what happens. You start fights. And this person eventually can't take no more of that shit. And they break up with you. Just because you're not the type of person to break up with people doesn't mean it don't take two still. So if it take two still, that means you got a part to play in it and pay attention to what's to learn for you. Even when you look at this person, you need to see, hold on, do I do that shit? Is this a result of something I did? Even if I don't do that shit, it's a consequence of something I did. Because you don't attract people just on some happy shit.
I do believe that a lot of people that you attract are reflections of things that are going on in you that you need to work on within yourself.
They all are.
But I do not believe that you have to accept anything from anybody just
Nobody
because we
said
out here
that.
learning and growing. I believe that that's how you live life, though.
You believe I do?
Yeah, because the way you.
Just because I don't respond in the way that most people would when they're not taking some shit, don't mean that I take shit. I let motherfuckers say what the fuck they want to say, but guess what that shit do to me? It don't even penetrate.
But you just said if a person leaves you high and dry, when they come back 2 or 3 years later, you should accept them back in your life.
Technically,
How and why would that be okay?
I bet. Like, cause you still stuck in the emotion of, why did you do that? How do you think it's okay to show your face?
I've grown past it. I've moved on. It's 3 years
You can't
later.
be done moved on.
Why would I
if
want
you still
you
stuck
back
on
in
that.
my life?
You can't be done moved on if you still stuck on how somebody could do that shit
No, I'm saying,
and not understand.
why would I want you back in my life? Why would you accept somebody back in your life?
Because I have an understanding of what the fuck happened. And I have you in my life at a certain point now. It don't mean I got to sit here and, oh, you fucked up that part of our relationship. Well, you know what? We have no relationship. That's you still holding on to some shit.
Why do you need a relationship? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You have a relationship with the steps you walk on. You have a relationship with that seat you sitting in.
So if a person
there's
is
relationships
gone,
all around
why
you.
when they come back 3 years later do you need to talk to them? Why do you have to talk to them?
Nobody said you need to or you have to, but to sit here and write somebody off like you never made a fucking mistake.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what the situation is, regardless to how we dress it up and make it like, oh, well, you know, this motherfucker knew everything about life and they intentionally fucked you over. Because that's what we saying. When we sit here and talk about people as though, like, oh, they did this to me. Okay, but what about the times you did shit to people? And you didn't have you didn't have no intent.
But you as a person, it doesn't matter what your intent was at that point. You as a person,
you got a right to do whatever the fuck you want to. You got a right to do whatever the fuck you want to. But when you talking to somebody who say, you know what? Yeah, you got a right to do that shit, but is it becoming of you? Does it help you in life? That's what the fuck I'm talking to. That's what I'm talking to.
Does it help you in life to talk to this person again?
No, does it help you to write people off when it's not about them? It's not about them.
What makes it writing them off? If they left you and then they try to come back, how are you writing them off?
So would you rather have somebody
that's left you?
So would you rather have somebody that's inexperienced, like don't even know if they like?
I don't want nobody that had wrote me off. I don't want you to come back.
I ain't done talking. The example ain't being made.
Okay.
Ain't finished being made, I mean. Okay. So the example is, would you rather have somebody who never had any experience or somebody who has experience in life as a partner in life? Or would you, even further, would you want somebody you don't have a clue about versus somebody you understand? But you first got to seek that understanding. See, so often in life, what I'm trying to say is we keep giving 100 niggas a chance. Instead of giving a chance to a motherfucker, shit, might be 100 times. How many times life gave you a chance?
That's what I'm saying.
No, how many times life giving you a chance? Every second, every minute.
Yeah, all day long.
So for me to sit over here and be so caught up in my fucking feelings that it's like, well, shit, I'm giving you this chance. Like, it ain't that deep, G. It ain't that deep. You either yay or nay. I want you around or not. Do I want to be understanding towards your situation before it becomes me or not? Because as sure as you can't accept them, guess what? You become them. As sure as you can't understand them, you become them. So the more spiritual a person becomes, the more accepting a person is to become. So as much as you want to sit here and say, oh, you take shit off of people. No, it don't mean I take shit off of people because I don't feed into it. I just understand enough to know, hey, don't feed into that shit because then that shit'll become you. I just understand enough to know, hey, don't hold that shit against that motherfucker. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn what the fuck they learning too. So to sit here and be like, oh, when this motherfucker come back around, I'm going to keep the same energy. You still there. You still there. And I got every right to say something when I'm a motherfucker who clearly, like you say, it seems as though, like, it would seem that way if somebody feel like anytime somebody pinch them, somebody look at them wrong, they got to say something. It would seem that way to somebody who has that understanding. But somebody who has a different understanding that recognize that shit ain't gonna matter a hill of beans from this second to the next. So why the fuck keep giving my energy to it? But for me to sit back and be like, you know what? Somebody did me dirty. They ain't killed nobody in my family. They ain't do nothing but hurt my feelings because they weren't who the fuck I thought they should be. I'm gonna hold a grudge against them for the rest of my life. Like, fuck out of here, bro. You ain't hurt nobody but you. You ain't hurt nobody but you, and that's all I'm saying. So as much as it's like, oh yeah, I cut that nigga off. So, you ain't hurt nobody but you. You gonna spend your whole life doing that shit. Cause guess what? Nobody perfect. And if you be real, you would have cut yourself off a long time ago. So who the fuck want to be friends with somebody who don't, like, you're not even worth being respected at that point. Or respected by. Because it's like, nigga, you don't even hold yourself to the same standards that you hold everybody else to. And at that point, you have a hard-ass time writing people the fuck off. Either you going to address that shit, or you not. Either you going to protect yourself from that shit, or you not. But I don't got the right to sit here and say, this motherfucker don't got the right to exist. Or this motherfucker don't got the right to be in my presence. Because I'm too immature to be able to protect my own damn self. Like, I don't have to trust people when I take care of my own business. When I pay my bills, I don't gotta trust nobody to take care of me. But we so trusting the motherfuckers to the point for too long. Like, we're not kids no more. We can figure out how to do shit for our fucking self. To the point, you don't gotta leave open to nobody. But yet, and still, we have these overly open-ass relationships. And I say overly open being nice. I say overly needy-ass relationships being real. To the point, now when a motherfucker ain't who the fuck we feel like they should have been, we act like it's the fucking end of the world and we got a right to be mad. When you didn't make this motherfucker, they don't gotta be shit you want them to be. Not to mention, you attract who the fuck you are in the moment. So how the fuck you mad at who? Be mad at you, because you just attracted you. And as much as it might be the person you don't want to be right now, it's obviously the person that you coming off as. Because you would have never been cool being with this motherfucker, nor would this motherfucker been comfortable in your presence. So as much as we want to be mad at the next motherfucker for being real and owning that shit, actually doing what we're thinking, like my girl said in White Chicks, you said it, but you was thinking it. Like, a lot of niggas walking around this bitch thinking shit, but I ain't acting on that shit. But you want to talk shit about the nigga who acting on it. Guess what he doing though? Or she doing? She learning from her experiences, hopefully. Because she's actually going through it. That's how you learn from shit, when you actually go through the shit, right? So they actually learning from they shit. But what about you though? You sitting around like it's Monday quarterback. Oh yeah, shit, I wouldn't do that shit either. You right. Like, right what? Right what? Like, if you're getting better, why come a motherfucker you had an issue with 10 years ago, when you run across them 10 years from now, or 10 years from the issue, can't be a better person?
Who said they can't be a better person?
They can't be if you already.
They can be 10 times, 100 times.
They can't be if you already wrote them off when they made that mistake. That's the point I'm making.
Nobody ever said that.
The point I'm making is, if you blame somebody for your life, that person can't be nothing other than what you blamed them for. That's who they are.
Blaming them for your life.
That's in general. If we break up, or if we have a situation where we was breaking up, and it's like, hey, why you where it's at? So as much as a motherfucker want to sit here and act like you're not, when a person asks you why you break up with somebody, or why your last relationship didn't work, if it comes back that you're talking about anybody other than your fucking self, there's a wall, unnecessary wall, and it's fake. It's a fake wall. Because as sure as you find somebody that you think is the opposite of that motherfucker, you gonna go for them. But truth be told, a lot of times the opposite only be in a small variation. A small variation, you feel me? Like, the nigga might not walk around talking about he conscious, but he into the shit of consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Or the nigga might be your ex might have been dark skinned and this nigga light skinned, or this nigga white. Like, whatever the fucking case is, people find a small variation that they can control and they go with that shit. But to me, that's idiocracy. When truth be told, we human beings. I mean, we here, we being, we here. We already here. Ain't shit you can fucking do about that. You here. Now, experience being and learn experiences. But you're not here to sit here and point the finger at the next motherfucker. To experience being means to pay attention to you. To be in the moment don't mean to pay attention to other moments. It means to be in that moment. So to experience being, you are the being, means to experience you. So anytime we spend trying to put it off on the next motherfucker, like, oh, when you come back around, then I know not to fuck with you. No. You don't need to fuck with nobody if you don't know who to fuck with at this point in time. And if you still walking around with the blinders on, like, there's certain standards that people are going to meet, even though I don't meet them, and then I'll deal with them. What? Yes, that's how people walk around for real. When you got these standards, this type of motherfucker I want. This type of motherfucker I want. Okay, majority of the time, that ain't you. That ain't who you are. So how the fuck you want somebody to be something you not? And if you was that person, guess what you won't have to do? You ain't got to look for a motherfucking thing. It would be attracted to you like all that other shit was attracted to you.
That's usually how it go.
Okay, so if you keep on attracting motherfuckers that you think ain't shit, hey, the mirror works both ways. So to be talking about when somebody else come back around, don't fuck with them, you damn right, don't fuck with them because you still ain't shit. Okay. You still ain't shit. Like, that's why that nigga came back around. If you think he ain't shit, and if he is not shit, then it's because you still not shit, and that's why he feel accepted.
Why do because you don't want to be friends with a person mean that you think they ain't shit?
I didn't say that.
Because that's all I said was I don't have to want to be friends with this person no more.
I'm glad.
Why do that mean that they ain't shit?
Nobody.
Like, damn.
I didn't say that you ain't shit because you don't want to be friends with nobody. I said what I said. That's what I said. Said what I said. I didn't say nobody ain't shit. I ain't say nobody with nothing. I just made the clear references and I gave explanations. Like, nigga, I identified with you. Ain't you a human being? Huh? Okay, so let's just be. Let's not sit back and keep on trying to pass the judge's decrees when we don't got the degrees. Nor do we want the disease. I don't want it. They can keep it. I don't need it. So the time I spent passing on the next motherfucker, all I'm saying is, I don't need that. I don't need that time. Obviously is what I'm saying, because I'm spending it on somebody else. I'm spending it worrying about somebody else. And if people really love you, they would be happy with Ashley being the best Ashley she can be. So if Ashley sitting around doing art or whatever Ashley love to do, nigga be like, man, that's cool you doing. Like, you gonna see the people that come around you at that point, majority are gonna be people that appreciate you for being you. And why they are able to appreciate you for being you, a lot of them are artistically inclined too. Whether it's they art appreciation, like, you got a heavy music appreciation, like, and I say that because your ability to pick certain songs or make sure other people hear certain shit, you feel me? So just because you ain't never made music, it would be wrong for a nigga to be like, man, you ain't really no artist like that. No, she's artistic. So it's the same thing with relationships though. Like, the things that you study, the things that you make of importance to you gonna come to your ass. And that's why I don't be like when, man, certain motherfuckers be like, for me as a male, I gotta say with females because I'm a male, so I ain't been dating no males. But long story short, I don't be liking when certain females be blowing up my gas phone. Like, if I got a gas, and I'm like, shit, man, why the fuck she always calling? And they be complaining about they dude. They get to a point, you so close with your friend, and so many people spend so much time not looking at themselves and looking within, I mean, to the point, we forget. When you look at something, you there. When you put your focus on something, that's where you are. So it's sure somebody talking to you, they paint a picture in your head. You feel me? And you're there. I done seen a motherfucker literally get out the phone with her homegirl and start picking at her niggas. Nigga ain't doing shit. But here it is. She's still in that conversation. And she up in arms with her homegirl, so you know what it is. Like, she moving on that. So far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna need for y'all niggas to get on the wave and hold each other accountable, cause that's where the fuck we at with it. Like, it's one thing for women to hold each other accountable, but it's another thing for a motherfucker to just be like, it's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. And that's all I keep on hearing like a psychiatrist. Yep, you right, it is everybody else's fault. Like, we not even gonna address, oh, okay. So, when this person was mistreating you, what you was doing? Even if it's only thing you did wrong was keep on taking it. Or only thing you did wrong was keep talking shit, pressing the nigga buttons. Huh? You ready?